This is an invitation to the crossroads. If you dare, city with a key.
What's up? Peace, light, and love. Shakesha checking in yet again. We got to definitely talk about this energetic expression we got coming on at this particular time. But I want to talk about this energy and how we can be able to navigate this particular energy so that it can really assist us in really making this 2025 9 year extremely prosperous for us. So when I start looking for guidance out here in these cosmic streets, the thing that I look to is the luminaries. The luminaries provide a special kiss of wisdom. We got the sun that encourages us to examine. The sun is our inspiration. It's how we shine our light in the world, right? This is tapping into that masculine aspect of our divine expression, right? And then we got the moon, which is that divine feminine expression, right? And this is all about us embracing. This is about our emotions, our senses, our instincts, right? It allows us to be receptive and intuitive, right? It helps us to tap into that unconscious part within ourselves, right? And I like to tap into this particular energy, right? Because this is a consistent energy that always shows itself. It shines its light on the collective, right? It never goes retrograde, right? It holds infinite potential in our healing capacity, right? And it offers divine guidance in our energetic expression, right? And so right now we got the sun that's in Capricorn right about now, right? And with that sun in Capricorn, we are really being inspired to shine our light on how we have been dealing with our discipline, right? Because Capricorn is hard work and energy, very professional, very prudent and structured, right? Also very down to earth and protective and self-reliant. And so this is really about how we are navigating authority within our life and what has authority over our lives and everything. And so right now, especially when we open up what we call 2025, because we know this isn't a new year, it just, you know what I'm saying? According to our farmer's almanac, we know that we plant seeds in and everything in the springtime, right? And so typically that's when the new year begins, is when we start seeing all of the vegetation showing up and all of the light. I mean, and all of the life is coming back and everything. This is that energy when it shows where it speaks of a mythology of when Persephone returns to the earth, because this is when the flowers begin to bloom and everything. And we start to see all of the greeneries about and whatnot. And the birds come back, the ones that left, they come back and all of that other stuff. And then the animals wake up and everything. So this is what we would call technically the new year. But on the calendar that we have, what is that? The Gregorian calendar that we have, right? This is 2025. And 2025 expresses itself with the nine energy. It's positioned in Capricorn. Now, however, whatever the intention was on that, the divine has definitely set it up for our benefit, because this gives us an opportunity to go within and take advantage of this divine feminine wisdom and really start thinking about like where the discipline needs to be focused at, right? How can we work a little bit more harder? How can we structure our lives so that we're beginning to see the things that we want to make manifested in our life actually show up, right? So this is definitely an auspicious time for us to begin checking in on those divine wisdoms and everything. And so with that, I got some information, man, that's really going to help us, that's really going to set us apart out here in these particular cosmic streets. Now, we got some auspicious energy that's coming up And initially, of course, it's not going to necessarily feel like it, because a lot of these things, they happen. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. It's going to really feel like it's all depending on how much of the work we've been doing, how well we know ourselves, right? Because this is a time right now where the divine is setting us up to where there will be no getting around doing the work, family. There will be no getting around doing the work. You go learn this particular lesson, and this is absolutely necessary. If you want to ascend to what we call this third dimension, then you can't be triggered by every damn thing and find yourself being beat to hell by your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities, right? And so we're going to talk about this matrix energy, right? That has us in these spaces where we're dwelling in our fears, our doubts, and our insecurities and everything, which has an impact on the things that we go after, how we spend our time, and what our ambitions are. This is called the Saturn moon matrix. And I really want us to really take a minute to digest this particular information, because if you can catch this and you know how this is showing up in your life, this will really allow you to really hit the reset button and do things a little bit differently, and not according to the way somebody else told you it was supposed to go, but you actually hitting the reset button so that it looks right for you. This is what I'm talking about, victory looking like. Okay. So, yeah, what an auspicious time to be alive right about now. Now, also, the other thing that I really wanted to get into is about in a couple of days. Maybe what is today? The ninth? Couple of days. On the 11th, we got that 111 portal, right? This is prime energy for transformative energy. But let me tell you about the way that the divine had threw a bow up upon this particular energy, right? We're going to see a node shift. The north node is shifted. The north node is really dependent when the north nodes in astrology really point to the direction that we are to be going energetically, right? And so right now we have that north node in Aries, right? And Aries energy really encourages us to take action, right? To follow our passions and everything, taking initiatives out here in these streets, right? Aries is I am energy, and this is all about developing the self, being true to yourself, right? Showing up for yourself in an auspicious way so that you can really take the commander seat out here in your life. Definitely a time for us to really begin stepping into our power. And now that we're catching that particular lesson, we're shifting that node over into the Pisces realm, right? In the Pisces realm, when the North Node is in Pisces, this is what we're being challenged in doing, right? We're being challenged to check in on our personal unconsciousness, those programs and things that we have been just doing on autopilot, right? This is about institutions. This is about karma, right? This is really even about checking in on those particular secret enemies, right? Because this is all in the realm of Pisces, dealing with them secrets and shit like that. Also about us upgrading our spiritual practices, right? A lot of spiritual gifts is going to be coming online and everything, right? But this is also the energy where we get to check in on those areas where we sabotage ourselves, the self-undoing. And so with Chiron going direct, that's in Aries. This is really an alley-oop for us to really begin taking this inventory on how we can propel ourselves into the next level, into the higher octaves of the higher vibrational frequencies that we're beginning to move into. If and only if we do this work out here that we want so badly to skip over. Now, listen, I want to talk because I want to bring up some real talk, real talk, real talk. Because I know that we are doing this work because, see, we had this node in Aries, right? The north node being in Aries, which means the other end of it, the south node, it being in Libra. With that south node being in Libra, right? This is more about us like being involved in partnerships, right? This is more about like finding that balance. You know what I'm saying? Libra energy is very friendly, very perceptive, right? Very justice oriented energy, right? Trying to make sure that it's fair for everyone, right? But a lot of times what we fail to do when we're dwelling in that Libra energy, right, is that we fail to look out for ourselves. Aries energy helps you to make sure that you're showing up and stepping into that particular power, that particular energetic expression, right, of showing up for yourselves. Because sometimes in the energy of Libra, wanting to get along, wanting to be friendly, wanting everything to be fair, wanting everything to work out, we move into this people pleasing dynamic that takes us out of the higher frequencies, the higher expressions that's really going to align us for the things that we truly want within our lives. And so now that we have begun getting these lessons in our relationships, in the dynamics, the power dynamics, and everything, and showing up for ourselves, now we can shift our focus into the realm of Pisces. The realm of Pisces is really all about us moving into this higher octave so that we can be more spiritually conscious, so that we can vibrate at higher density levels, right? See, Pisces realm is the very last energy on the zodiac wheel. This is the highest expression of the human consciousness, right? And so this Piscean house is really all about taking all of the lessons that we've learned and really utilizing it so that we can awaken ourselves to our divine potential. What a powerful time to be out here in these cosmic streets, y'all. What a magical time to be alive. What an auspicious time to be alive out here, y'all. I just can't believe that this is going down the way that it is. And I am here to talk some shit about how this goes down. So this North Node, it being in Pisces, this is all about us really doing the work, right? Really doing the work. Because we got a lot of conversation out here. Listen. I want you to understand, I'm not here to try to knock nobody. I'm not here to try to bring the negativity and everything. See, we've been up under this program, and anytime that it's not in agreement with what the collective is, then that means it's negativity. It does not necessarily have to operate that way. This is all about having a dissenting opinion, and we get to have that dissenting opinion. How I'm seeing it and what I'm getting, the way that this information is translating to me, it shows me that there's a lot more, there's levels to this work. And so while we get into this whole ministry, right, this whole frequency, vibration, and energy, right, of loving ourselves, of getting to know ourselves, this is absolutely the process within the work. We know ourselves. We accept ourselves. We forgive ourselves. We embrace ourselves, right? And then with that, we begin to have a lot more compassion for those that are around us. But doing this whole particular working process, this is what this whole node in Pisces is going to force us to be able to look at. This is about those things that lie in our personal unconscious, right? The personal unconscious of our karma and the loops and the cycles that we've been in, right? Those secret enemies that stick around for whatever reason, right? And these could not necessarily be external enemies, right? But these could be internal enemies as well, right? This is about that self-undoing part within us, right? These is those a lot of times, because Pisces, it deals with the realms of drugs and alcohol, those addictions and everything. Some of the things that we do that sabotages ourselves and everything. We get an opportunity to address that shit, right? The conversations that we have, the ways of thinking that we have, the expectations that we hold, right? That may not really be realistic and really not honoring the human nature that's around us. Spirit's been given such messages on making sure that we are respecting and honoring human nature out here in these streets. Because it is our human nature that brings us into these patterns. And so, me coming on today to talk a little bit about this Saturn moon matrix. In a few days, we about to get this Cancer full moon that's coming in here, that's really going to open us up to the secrets of our emotions, really getting us in alignment with where this North Node has shifted to. Because Pisces and Cancer, they definitely, Scorpio too, we can't forget about the Scorpio energy, these water energies, right? They all hold secrets to our emotional state, our unconsciousness, and how we can move past a lot of these barriers that kind of prevent us from really being able to experience life, to tap into that frequency of joy that will raise our vibration. We do that by doing that internal work. The internal work is by really coming to peace and accepting who we are. Now that is an act of love. That act of love is that decision, that choice that we make in our lives to be 100% completely honest with who we are and where we are in life, so that we'll have the compassion and the capacity to be able to see the light in others, the divinity in others, so that we're not holding on to resentments and grudges that prevent us from higher vibrations, that prevent us from being able to move to the higher density planes that we're talking about moving to in this ascension process, or that thing we call ascension, whatever, right? So let's talk a little bit about that. I wanted to definitely dive into this, right? But while we dealing with this Capricorn energy, right? We got this sun in Capricorn. I really want to talk about like making sure that we're doing some things to care for ourselves, right? Because with that sun in Capricorn, it's also reminding us, shining light on, you know what I'm saying? Of those particular areas, right, in our bodies that are ruled by Capricorn. So Capricorn, it rules the skin, the joints, the teeth, the ligaments, the hair, the nails, right? That whole, what is that called? The integumentary system or something like that. Some shit, I forgot, maybe. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all thank my public school education, you know what I'm saying, for my knowledge on the whole body system. However, let's get it. Let's get it anyway. We talking about that particular area, right? So this is the area that we take like a lot of collagen supplements for, you know what I'm saying? And what is all of the other stuff, you know what I'm saying? All of the stuff that we take for our hair, our skin, our nails, the collagen supplements, the hyaluronic acid, what else is it, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of it'll come back to me and everything. But one of the herbs that I really think that we need to really incorporate, especially around this Capricorn season, is horsetail. Now, I've been telling folks, I've been preaching the gospel of horsetail for quite some time about how it has really been helping me and assisting me. And, you know what I'm saying, having, a lot of those skeletal issues that go on with my knees cracking, and, you know what I'm saying? And I used to get carpal tunnel when I was doing a lot of office work, when I was in the corporate matrix and all of that other type of shit and everything. And the horsetail was really supportive in assisting me in that healing process. Now, horsetail, it contains a very auspicious mineral called silica. And silica, it really supports in helping your body to produce collagen. A lot of individuals use it for heart health and also for your bone health as well. Silica is an auspicious herb right about now because we're moving into this energetic space where not only are we up under this energy of Capricorn, and it deals with those with the ligaments, the joints, and you know what I'm saying, the connective tissues. That's where I'm going. Come on now, let's get it. Those connective tissues and everything, helping to strengthen that, right? But it also strengthens the heart muscle. Catch me what I'm talking about now, right? Because if we talking on an energetic level, right, if this helps in strengthening that heart muscle, the cardiac muscle, right, the heart health, right, and those connective tissues and everything, this is a herb that's really going to help in supporting us in our ascension process, because it's helping us with our interconnectedness. It's helping us with our heart space capacity, right? So this is a herb that's really going to help us to tap into higher frequencies during this particular season, all while supporting our health, right? All while supporting us in strengthening the things that we take in, right, with our teeth, the things that we're chewing in, strengthening our teeth, helping us to be able to take in and digest those things that we've been consuming and everything, right? The horsetail is definitely going to help in supporting us in doing that. No doubt about it. So some of the things, also another one, I don't know, it's just been coming through the pineapple, bromelain. That is that is I think it's an enzyme, whatever, whatever, you know what I'm saying? This is a substance that's in pineapples, and that bromelain is really good in reducing inflammation as well. And when I used to have a lot of stiffness that was going on, like in my joints and my knees and everything, right? That bromelain was really helpful in helping to increase the fluidity in my joints and everything. This is going to be an auspicious time for that as well. We have that Mars retrograde, and Mars is in Cancer right about now, right? See, when the retrograde is in Mars, this is all about us checking in, right, on those things that motivate us at the end of the day, right? What our motivations are, what our passion is, what our drives is. And right now it's shining its light in Cancer. And Cancer is all about our emotional state, right? And so this is a time right now where we may be revisiting some stuff that brings us all up in our feelings and everything. But this is giving us a prime opportunity, North Node shifting into Pisces, to resolve some of these emotional issues so that we can vibrate higher, forgiving ourselves, right? Because at the very end of the day, when we hold on to anger, we hold on to resentments and everything, right? It's really not about the person that you're holding the anger and resentment from. It's really about you. It's really about you not showing up for yourself, you not coming through the way that you were supposed to. And so this is all about us. And see, this is why we got to make sure that we in this space where we loving ourselves enough to forgive ourselves, right? Because we think that loving ourselves is ignoring all of the shit that we doing, right? And putting our finger in the other direction and everything. But the only thing that that does is it helps us in building resentment. It lowers our frequencies. It takes us out of reality. It takes us out of a space of being grounded. And we find ourselves pulling out a sword and engaged in a lot of fights and a lot of adversarial confrontations. That's unnecessary, all based and rooted and grounded in lies. Do you see how that energy is contagious in the collective, huh? Yeah. And so this is definitely an auspicious time for us to really begin understanding our emotional triggers, our emotional traumas, so that we can heal, so that we can make the adjustment, so that we can do the course correction and move through in this dance we call ascension. What an auspicious time to be alive. And so, in talking about this Saturn moon matrix, right, we want to definitely make sure that we're checking in on our overall wellness, because that's going to be paramount in navigating this particular energy. Yes, yes, yes. So, okay, hold up. Let me make sure I back up. On that Capricorn energy, foods that's going to support us. We got the pineapple because that bromelain is go release is go reduce that inflammation and whatnot, right? Then we got the green beans, brown rice, bananas, leafy greens, and lentils. Always good to be in a space where we taking in foods that's on a higher vibration. However, on the lower vibration, for those of us that's kind of teeter-tottering and whatnot, we got to honor the human nature, huh? Come on now. The beer is really high in silica, right? And so beer is one of the most I guess is one of the beverages that has the most amount, the highest levels of silica within that. You know what I'm saying? Within the beverages and everything. So if you're a beer drinker, I used to be a beer drinker. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know. It just don't work for me as well as it used to. I really used to enjoy a good brewski though. You know, maybe once in a while. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Have myself a little brewski. You know what I'm saying? Sit around and talk some trash. You know what I'm saying? And everything, but not in a while and everything. But yeah, good brewski. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. All right. Yeah. I like it a lot. But anyway, let's get back into this Saturn moon matrix, right? Because this Saturn moon matrix is all about the reality that we've been living in, the matrix reality, right? I heard Sister Myra talk about the ma of tricks, and damn, is she on point with that? And I just love the way that she deals with this particular energy, because this is the way that I experience it as well. So definitely shout out for that particular sister who has been doing this work. And story ain't changed, man. I done checked out some old stories, listened to her a long time ago, right? This is a story that hasn't changed, consistent with this particular energetic signature right here. No doubt, no doubt. So when we talking about this Saturn moon matrix, we're talking about this fake reality that has been established for us, a system that has been set up to work on us through our emotions, right? So this is about dealing with the moon energy and Saturn energy. The moon energy in the lower vibrational frequencies, it deals with our doubts, it deals with our fears, it deals with our insecurities, right? And Saturn energy, right? It deals with limitations, it deals with restrictions, it also deals with those addictions, right? The loop type of behavior and everything, right? That's what Saturn looks like when it's in its lowest vibration, right? And so what they do is they take that energy of the moon, our emotional energy, so that it can direct our ambitions, the Saturnian energy, right? See, energy in motion is where the power is at. No doubt about it. We better catch this right here. We need to know this, right? So this theory of the Saturn moon matrix, right? All about it being a fake reality, right? So there's stories that goes on. You can check this out on the internet where they talk about like symbols and signs in just about everything, right? And we need to definitely recognize that, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Saturnian energy images and all of this within the Freemasonry symbols and all of this. And there's some conversation about, you know, how they have a lot of rituals that go on in Bohemian Grove and all of this other shit. I don't know. I was never invited to none of that shit. How unfortunate, right? I wasn't invited to the party. So I don't know nothing about that. And I can't speak about that. But energetically, let me tell you how I'm seeing this, right? See, we need to really pay attention to the way that the astrology is. See, I don't think we understand just what a valuable, what an auspicious tool astrology is, right? See, when we looking in the house symptom, when we looking in the house, in the house, what is that called? I was going to say the house symptoms, you know what I'm saying? But in the house sections, right? We notice that the house sections, they rule over different types of energies, right? It starts off with the energy that's all about, you know, the fiery energy. It starts off, let's do like elemental wise, right? Because we know, you know what I'm saying? There's 12 houses in the astrology systems, right? But if we start off, we know elemental wise, it starts off with the fire energy. It starts off with Aries. Aries starts off, it hits, it's the top of the astrology charts. It's the very first sign in the zodiac. Fire energy. Fire initiates, fire gets it done. Fire is about that action, that drive, and everything, right? And so that's led by Mars. It deals with force, it deals with passion, right? Then the second thing that's on the list is the Venusian vibration, right? This is about our values. This is about our comfort, our connections, and everything, right? And then next following that, this is dealing with the mercurial energy, right? This is where the third house is at, which is ruled by Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the energy of communication. This is how we think, how we discriminate energy and everything, right? And then the fourth house, it belongs to Cancer. Cancer is about the home, the family, how we nurture, right? It also points to our mom and maternal energies within our lives, right? Now we can move it on forward and keep it moving, right? Because the next house is the Leo house, right? And that is all about You know what I'm saying? Creativity, our joys, and you know what I'm saying, and all of that. The sixth house is about routines. The seventh house is about relationships. The eighth house is about transactions on every level: sex, death, the occult, inheritance. You know what I'm saying? That particular action, right? It's transactional. That's the house of transformation, right? The ninth house is about beliefs. The 10th house is about your ambitions. The 11th house is about your communities. And then the 12th house, again, are unconscious expressions. So let's take this look at houses 4, which is about the nurture, the home body, right? And the house that's exactly opposite of it, which is the 10th house, which is Capricorn, which deals with that energy of our ambitions, right? And how we discipline ourselves to conquer the world, right? See, this Capricorn energy, right, is very, very hardworking, very down to earth, very protective, very self reliant, right? Very ambitious at the very end of the day. But let's talk about the way that the mind works, because we go catch this. If you can catch the way that this matrix has been working, see, this is the matrix, right? And the maternal energy that deals in the house of Cancer, the Cancerian energy, right? It starts off in the fourth house. The fourth house is where your foundation is at. 4 is the number of foundation. And 4 energy, the fourth house, that particular energy, right? It comes through to remind us about the early childhood programming and everything, right? And we know that we get programmed through traumas, through symbols, through repetition, right? Ashe the brother panic for that particular lesson, huh? We know that that's how the subconscious mind programs us, right? And this all takes place within that fourth house, that early conditioning. And so if we can deal with folks, see, with this early conditioning, right? That we got, you know what I'm saying? But you can also do the trauma, the symbols, the repetition, through the things that we see through our eye gates, through our ear gates, right? Through all of the gates that we have, right? So we got a lot of poisonous food, we got a lot of negativity in the music, right? We seeing a lot of killings where people is getting killed in some freak crazy ways, right? Where you see somebody's head getting ripped off and then the spinal cord is spitting out blood and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Where you watching folks getting their neck snapped and shit like that. And that's very traumatic, especially to those of us that are highly sensitive. Like, why is this notch being upgraded on the traumatic factor, huh? Well, this is how you program that subconscious mind, you see, through trauma, through symbols, through repetition. So we keep shit like that going, or we make you feel like you're going to get canceled for saying things that you don't want to say. You know what I'm saying? And so we put the truth that we want you to be up under on a loop, on a wheel, in a song. I'm hearing these girls ain't loyal, whatever in the hell it is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever song it is that minister, murder music, all of that other foolishness that, you know what I'm saying, that they put on this loop, right? That they put on this loop to program that subconscious mind. Now, what that does is it affects you. It affects how you deal with authority. So if they can keep you in your fears, in your doubts, in your insecurities, right? What you reaching for is going to be very limited. Where your ambitions is pointed to, your drive, your force, it's going to be really, really limited. You may even stay inside of that box, especially if you've been conditioned to follow the teaching, especially if you've been conditioned to go along to get along, especially if you've been conditioned in this bullshit we call politically correctness, right? This is going to really change the trajectory of how you navigating and how you operating, how you take authority, Saturn, in your life, your emotional state. the moon. So they control your emotions, the moon, to dictate your ambitions of Saturn, the Saturn moon matrix. Now they got a whole bunch of other information and ideas about how that goes, but can't you see how this is turning itself, right? So when we look at all of these planetary alignments and how we have been really given this alley oop, this heads up about really being able to check in on where our beliefs is at, we getting handed a true gifts. So Neptune was in Pisces. It was in retrograde all the way until the end of 2024. Like right in December, it went direct. When Neptune is in Pisces, this is all about us checking in on the illusions, on the beliefs, on the things that inspire us in this world. This is about really checking in on how that's been affecting our unconsciousness, right? The institutions that we've been up under, right? The way that we've been navigating, the way that we've been going about things unconsciously. This is about really tapping in and undoing the programming so that you're not just operating on autopilot, so that you're not just listening to any bullshitting ass song that they throw on the radio on a loop. Thank goodness, even though, you know what I'm saying, this technology is really taking folks in some places that's pushing us outside of the comfort zone. It has opened us up with this internet to be able to get more variety, more selection in our lives so that we can exit out this celebrity mentality where we sitting around following false prophets, false idols out here in these streets, idolizing false prophets. We got to go, we go get this work. Oh, we go get this work. Trust me when I'm trying to tell you. And so with this particular moon, Saturn moon matrix, there's a system that's in place that really, there's a system in place that really guides your direction to stay within the parameters of the simulation, of the matrix that we want to call this, right? And so this is why there's so many people saying that we're living in this simulation, because this may not even be real at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? This may all just be a program. And all of the folks that's in here that's really a part of this whole program, this is why they call them NPCs, right? Because they're non-playable characters in this particular simulation. But I'm here to tell you, I'm here to wake up the sleeping giant, right? To remind us of our sovereignty, to remind us of those things that we came to do. And so this is the reason why I have come on Thursdays with lighting this candle. So what I've been doing was dealing with a candle like so. Now, you know what I'm saying? I think that a candle every particular Thursday, it really helps to awaken the sleeping giant. It really helps us to connect to the star player within. So let me tell you about how this works, because I've been talking about lighting this candle for justice. I think I may have gotten it all wrong about it being specifically for justice, right? Because what Spirit was really showing me is that this is more about a power tap than a justice tap. Justice will be the side effect of the power tap, right? So I was putting kind of the cart before the horse, you see. See, with this fire, see, when you're dealing with that element of fire, right? Fire is that element that initiates, activates, right? It taps you into that passion and the desire and the drive and everything, right? And so then when we dealing with that flame, right? This is working with the subconscious mind to align our intention. And so in this particular thing, my intention was justice, right? But what if we set the intention to power, to activate, to initiate this power in our lives, right? Because we allow so much shit, man. And this power, it works on the inside and then it blends on it, it bleeds itself out, you see? Because When I'm talking about lighting this candle, fam, when I'm talking about lighting this candle, this is not about lighting a candle to change some shit that's happening externally. And so this is where I was going with this thing where we lighting this candle for justice and all of that, right? But this is not about lighting a candle to change the external circumstance, although it will. It absolutely will. This is about awakening the sleeping giant to make sure that we showing up for ourselves, right? And so I do this particular ritual on Thursday because Thursdays is about growth. It's about expansion. It's about relief, right? And so then I'm not doing it on like a day like Tuesday that's led by Mars because Mars absolutely deals with that action and everything, right? But it also shifts us into a vibration of conflict, of war, right? And when we step into our power, right? Power is not really won by war, but by growth and expansion of consciousness, you see. So with this, I say Thursday aligns because we've been up under a spell of complacency, of discouragement, where we won't stand united for justice out here, for anything out here in these streets. So we need some power. So the intention of the candle flame is to awaken the sleeping giant by speaking to the subconscious mind to boldly take the seat of the throne within without commanding. No, 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 no. We taking it within and without. Within and without. We are commanding sovereignty. We're commanding respect. We're no longer tolerating second class treatment in this motherfucking world of oppression and injustice and everything. We come through for ourselves, you see. See, this is what happens through growth and expansion. This is an inside out job, right? This is an inside out job. And we do that by working on that subconscious mind. This is how we do that. We've been up under a spell, family. And this Saturn moon matrix, it really points to how we've been up under this spell. So what I really would like to encourage you to do is take a look, see at your astrology chart and see where your Saturn moon matrix is at. And if you got somebody, or if you know that knows really how to comb over that chart and everything and really give you the 411 on how you can really make these adjustments right with those particular placements in your life, they can definitely give you some guidance. Link up with these folks that know this business. I promise you this is going to be some life-changing information so that you can really take the commander's seat, lighten that candle, get in that subconscious mind to get your ass in gear so that you can show up for yourself in a way that commands respect and authority out here on this planet. Because again, we keep getting into these dynamics for justice, for equality, to end oppression, right? We keep getting into these dynamics where we demanding, and we've been demanding this for years. But see, one of the things that I have noticed is that part of the problem is that we're not firm enough on our squares. We're not firm enough on our squares. And I'm not going to say, because see, at this particular point in time, with all of this information that is available to us, we can make that adjustment and we can awaken ourselves. Awaken the sleeping giant that's within us. That's what this work is all about, so that we heal ourselves, so that we show up for ourselves. This right here, family, this is the ministry of being your own best friend. And so with that, I sincerely hope that this has helped you out. Definitely help me out. So peace and light, peace and love.